Anybody emerge that kind of like maybe open your eyes a little bit that helped make that decision a little bit easier?
We knew that, like I said, just honestly, just the competition of it all. I don't know if like emerging, but we were pretty confident, going into the camp, John, what we'd see and how we'd go. And so when the opportunity, with Adam and team to, go that way, that seemed to make the most sense. And, like from a fit and the whole thing for it. So it made sense.
Hey, good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon.
Ollie is a player that kind of stood out to me during the course of the game. Can you just kind of talk about his performance specifically tonight, but just overall?
Yeah, one thing about playing linebacker and behind the line of scrimmage, you want to see guys who can play square and tackle. And that is one thing from him, really instinctual. So I like how he can do that. He's had a good run here on the special team side of things. He is really just improving as it's going. So he's worked really hard from the time, the mini camp ended to going into the training camp. He's really somebody that's absolutely going for it.
And then running back Chris Rodriguez obviously had a really good game Monday night, but then today and then the little bit of work that he got, ripped off a couple of explosive runs again. How encouraging is that for you to see towards the end here of preseason?
Yeah, it's important for us. And that part of the offense really takes the most work. It's the traps, the combination blocks, getting downhill. And so oftentimes the throwing game is ahead of the running game just from how you practice and train. So going into the games, we wanted to get real looks at it.
For you and Adam Peters, what happens from now till Tuesday at the deadline?
Yeah, this is a challenging time for us. You have to, make difficult decisions, but we've been meeting a lot, leading up until now. So we watch practice together every day. We, spend a lot of time. And so the evaluations keep going. And then, we're just talking now what time we're going to go watch it together tomorrow. Oftentimes we'll watch practice or a game and it's a conversation about a player. It's our time to spend together, talk about the team, what we would do, contingency planning, 53-man roster, 70-man roster. And then, of course, from his side, then there's acquisitions or trades that go into all those. So it is a busy time, Nikki, for sure. But we just, like most things, big decisions, take our time and work our way through them. But the game will be another one to go. And certainly there were some guys today that impressed me. Antonio Hamilton was another one that played physical. I was so pumped to see Jordan McGee out on the field today. He is such a good linebacker. And so for him to get back out and get some playing experience today, I thought that was really important. But we go through the next few days together and, just kind of make sure going through all the looks and where it's at. And then as it gets in from Tuesday to Wednesday, slight changes take place then too.
And you've had Sam Hartman and Josh Johnson compete for a third quarterback spot. Does that indicate you're set on having three quarterbacks? And what do you think of their performance in general in preseason?
Yeah, we haven't decided from, three and practice squads and those types of things yet, Nikki. But I think what do you find when you get a lot of quarters and that type? So when Mark is being out, that created more playing time. And so just like we were saying with the whole team, they got more ops to play than they normally would have. And so I think those are important parts of the evaluation as it goes into it. But as far as, numbers in terms of, how many, we haven't finalized any of those things yet.
Dan, as you get to Tuesday and try to work out the roster, how much does draft status impact keeping guys if it gets to a tight situation?
Probably early it does, but not later, meaning like early picks, I could see that, but not as much on the later side. One thing that we really stand for here is the competition. And that's been Adam from the very beginning. And we knew that was the case going in. There wasn't going to be this or that. That's how we, stand for how we do things. So, I would say not from like you can't rule that over a performance, based thing.
With regards to Luke McCaffrey, it seemed like it was an emphasis to get him the ball. Looking at his entire journey this year from OTAs to now, where have you kind of seen him grow the most, or where do you think he still needs to maybe take that next step?
Yeah. One, we've pushed him in two spots, which he's definitely capable of handling, both playing outside and inside. The things that I've seen improve for him, is the route, and the precision doing that, the footwork that goes with that. He's always been one hell of a competitor. He's got punt return background, kick return background for us. So we like all the things that Luke brings, but it's really the competitor that, kind of sets it apart, Ben, in that way. But I do like the versatility that he does outside to inside. I thought it won't maybe show up all the way on the stat sheet, but like he's made an impact on the team side. Last week, I thought for him covering kicks, man, I felt it.
Don't have to ask you where Terry is. We saw him today.
Attaway.
I guess, was there any difference why he was here today, and what does it mean to have him around?
Yeah, he had just based on how the calendar went from like big work in yesterday, so not today, different than last weekend. So that's how it did. Kind of the way that his workouts, fell with the game and the calendar. But yeah, it was awesome to have him here today as well.
With Bill, was his not getting in there strictly a matter of just wanting to rest him, or is there any sort of caution with the shoulder still?
Yeah, we just wanted to use all the caution we could to make sure that he's hitting it good and at that spot. I think we all recognize it's a pretty physical spot, and so it's a deep crew for us at that position. So we thought we haven't seen enough from Kaz and felt in some of those ways, and though by design we said, okay, let's feature them more today.
And it looked like Noah Brown got a pretty good workout pregame.
Yes.
Maybe more than we've seen him do. What did you see there, and is he getting pretty close to being able to go full go?
Yeah, I was really encouraged by what I saw today too. He is such a competitor, so to see him full speed, making all the stops. You've heard me use the word decel, how aggressively he can stop, and that's what makes playing the position so unique. Not just the speed to get over the top, but all of it. But he really looked like himself today, and so I asked him afterwards where he was at and how he's feeling. He really felt strong, and the workout looked really strong too.
Hey, Coach, it looked like it was a tough first half from Sam Hartman. Is it harder to assess some of the receivers on the bubble when the quarterback is kind of struggling like that?
That's a great question. You really have to look at, from the receiver spot, where was the route? For instance, there was a time last week that Luke absolutely got on top of somebody on a deep route. Now, we didn't throw it that way, and so maybe we didn't, take the attempt to him, but you felt the speed of him absolutely going for it. So I would say are you in the right spot, doing the right route? And if the ball doesn't go your way, I think that's more difficult than if you are getting covered, you got beat, and the ball wasn't able to go your way because of getting guarded in that way. So it is a good question. I don't think it hampers the receiver unless there was an errant throw or, a decision not to go to the correct read. But as far as the routes and the physicality and, going to do things, there's always, good things to hit on that way. Yep.
Hey, Coach, you just mentioned Jordan McGee's name, and I know over the last year he's dealt with some injuries. And so can you share a bit about
Sure.
what you've learned from, about him and how he's dealt with that adversity and through the injuries and everything you saw today?
I think the word I think of when I think of Jordan is resilience. This is a really hardened, tough competitor. When the injuries can happen, you can see on some it can be, not again, or here we go, but not this guy. He is just built differently. He's very mentally hardened in that way. And so for him, we weren't going to let him miss one step, in his way on the way back. And I was very excited to see him play and get rolling today. He's worked hard to get back. I knew that he would, but it was still excellent to see him, Javonte out there, Brandon Coleman. So we had some guys that were on the way back. I was pleased that they got some extra work today, Amos. So there were some that were, as we got into some work last week, and we get them some into the game. And so even sometimes, Candy, 5 or 6 plays, it's worth it. The pregame, getting out there, getting ready. And I was pleased to see it with those 4, but Jordan especially.
And while he didn't play today, Jeremy Reeves, I shared with him just a moment ago, we were chatting about how active he was on the sidelines. I was calling him Coach Reeves because that's what it looked like
Yes.
from where we were sitting. So can you share just what you have also learned about him over this time period and what you've seen?
Yeah, I love the guy. He is a absolute warrior and commander, through and through. He's also now he's established himself as a leader because of the high standards that he holds himself to, and now seeing him bring others along as a leader, that's a really big deal. And so not too many years ago, he earned his way on the team, on special teams, and making plays. And so to see him live that life fully and now adding, more roles on defense, that's a really big deal. But I think just the love of football, the love of his teammates, those are a few things that stick out to me. But yeah, I'd heard the same, he was coaching somebody up before I even, got to the sideline today.
Coach,
Coach, you mentioned Brandon Coleman earlier about coming back from injury. He said that he advocated to play today. What does that say about him and the character of some of those guys that were working hard to play in this third preseason game where a lot of people didn't play, but it shows their character about playing?
Yeah, I think it really speaks to like the readiness, and a mindset to say, hey, I know, regular season here is coming and I need this work. And so it takes a lot of self-awareness, because probably the easy narrative is to say back off and not. And so for him to, advocate, hey, it's strong enough, it's ready. So that's why we did the pregame, to see how he felt. And we'll always make the right decisions for the players, but I trust them too. And to say, hey, I need this work and I want to get ready. Like, I know what that's like. And some I'll have to protect them from themselves. That's the Noah Browns of the world. Like, no, you're not going to go, even though he would no matter what. But there's others that, like, I really trust, hey, I got to get some. Doesn't have to be the whole thing, but I'd like some, and I believe in them too. All right, thanks, everybody, and I will see you on Wednesday.